Hello, Chris here. Just recording a quick intro just to warn you that this episode might not sound the best. Me and Darcy have COVID currently, so we didn't record together. We did it over Zoom, which we haven't done in a few months, so it was a bit rocky. Max's audio cuts out at the end, so we had to use some of the Zoom audio. And me and Darcy were also in bed because we don't have a lot of our mic stands and stuff, so it might be a bit rumbly. I've tried to remove as much of it as I can, but I'm quite ill, so I've not done as good as I probably could have. But hopefully the episode doesn't sound too bad, and I apologise if there's any points where I just kind of ramble, because I was completely spaced out the whole time. Enjoy the episode.
My wife makes me take off my clothes in the garage, then she leaves out a bucket of warm water and some soap, and then she douses everything in hand sanitizer after I leave. I mean, she's overreacting, right? Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon. I'm Max, and I don't have COVID anymore.
I'm Chris, and I do have COVID anymore.
And I'm Darcy, and I'm in the mid-stage of COVID.
We're back, baby. And better than ever.
There's going to be a lot
we
of
have been
coughing.
ill. I'm fine now, though. So says the tests. I feel great. Better than ever. Bloody hell, it was a time, though. I tell you what, it was a
Yeah,
time.
it sounded like you were having a... You sound like you're having a worse time than us, to be fair.
I had a terrible time. I lost my voice, and that's the main reason we didn't do the podcast, because I probably could have done it. It came in like waves of like feeling really, really awful. My whole body ached. It was like I woke up at about 4 a.m. one night, and I was like, oh no. I was like shivering. It's like, this can't be good. Oh, I cancelled everything. And then Chris was like, sounds like you got COVID. And then I had COVID for the next week and a bit. But I'm over it now.
And then on Tuesday, completely independently, Darcy tested positive.
I also had that same
It was
problem,
like
though. I went to
exactly
bed,
a week
yeah.
or week and a half after we'd seen each other anyway, so it definitely wasn't like Max didn't pass it on to Darcy.
No, I think that was the first thing that my mum said, was like, have you seen Max recently? And I was like, Mum, I've been at home for like 9 days.
Yeah.
How would that even be
Oh,
possible?
cheers.
And then obviously I've most likely either caught it at the same time as Darcy, it just took longer to hit me, or I've gotten it from her and tested positive this morning.
Yeah, I've had it for about 4 days now.
How are you finding it?
How are you? Yeah, how are you finding it?
I've definitely felt worse. I just kind of feel like I got a really bad cold, got like a really sore throat. My temperature's been all over the place, and I definitely have brain fog because I feel really out of it at the moment. When I just started speaking, I halfway through the sentence, I was like, "Wait, I'm saying something." So I'm just like really fucked right now.
Oh, I kind of felt, I don't know, I got that whole, like, I was really cold and really hot at the same time, couldn't get warm, couldn't stay cold.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt
it was
kind of
bad.
ill for the last couple of days, and I was kind of like, maybe I'm like starting to get it, or maybe it could just be like a placebo sort of thing. Like I'm so like convinced that I'm gonna catch it that like I'm feeling like I've got it. And then this morning I woke up and I was like, there is no way I don't have it, because I felt really bad.
yeah, you were like, there was one night where I had the covers on and Chris was just sleeping there with like nothing on top of him, and I was just like, okay, he's definitely not well. And I just thought, okay, we've done it now. And this morning he wakes me up, he's like, it's finally happened. I was like, oh, okay.
I have succumbed, finally. Yeah. I was annoyed, mostly because I had avoided it until now.
Yeah, how has that
Like-
happened? That we've avoided it for this long, and now within the space of a week and a half or something, we've all managed to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
Fucking
new one,
annoying.
isn't it? COVID-4 or whatever we're on.
To be fair, I saw an article that came up today that was like, there was a spike of like 4 million people that had it between this week and last week or something.
Yeah, I know multiple people who've had it in the last month or two.
Yeah, so it's
Pretty much
not
everyone
a
I
surprise.
know who didn't have it, hadn't had it previously.
Yeah,
has
has had it
gotten
now. It was just a matter of time, wasn't it, before it came and bit us in the arse.
Yeah, I'm just been popping loads of pills, you know. Just so many
Yeah,
pills
that's
have been
what I'm
putting
doing
into
at
my
the moment.
system.
We were meant to see Enter Shikari last night. They did a like really tiny show in their hometown.
It wasn't.
Obviously,
Well, it
we
was
weren't
next to their
able to go.
hometown. They don't live in Hitchin. It was
Yeah.
in Hitchin.
Either way, it was like right. It was basically a hometown show, even though
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I gave
Damn,
the tickets
guys.
away to some sweet geezer called Ethan. So, Ethan, if you
Have
ever see
fun.
this, where the fuck is my video, Ethan?
Have fun for us, Ethan. I mean, I wasn't going, but
I
for
know.
these guys.
I went on Twitter and I saw he was tagged in a picture of some guy who travelled about the same distance as what me and Chris would have travelled to get there. And they look like they're all having a good time, and I'm happy for them because I wanted someone to enjoy it.
yeah. I mean,
Sure,
it's sad, but at the same time, it was a bit of a pain getting there and back. But it's obviously a lot of money spent. I would have had to have gone straight from work as well, so I probably would have spent about £70 in travel in total.
Yeah, there was a small silver lining of saving money.
Mhm.
It is
Nice.
what it is.
all like a bit of savings, all like a bit of pocket money.
That's what I'm going to say to myself every time I think about that.
I watched like a ton of movies when I was sick. I watched
I
so many
bet.
movies.
That's what we're kind of doing now, isn't it?
What was the number
we
in the
went
end?
through like
How many?
it was like 26. Like I watched about 26 movies
What in
when I had COVID.
10-ish days?
From the time it took me, what? Yeah, in about that. Because I had nothing else to do, and I kind of had like a bit of brain fog going. I tried to concentrate on like reading books, I guess, or like concentrating on like other things. There's not really much you can do when you're just stuck inside though, and I couldn't really
that's
concentrate
true.
that hard. So just like plowing through a load of movies that I knew were like really acclaimed and like you just have to watch them. So I got through a lot of those. I'm very happy to have done that. So it was like, take your victories where you can get them. Watch like Silence of the Lambs, which was fantastic. I actually hadn't seen that before. But god damn, that was a good movie. It's so good. Raging Bull I watched, that was good. A couple of Scorsese movies actually. Heat was like the big one for me. That was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's
I'd never seen that
incredible
before.
movie.
And like a
Okay.
lot of the old James Bond movies I watched, like Sean Connery's run and a bit from the other guy, Roger Moore. I mean, if you want some misogyny, I would recommend a few of those movies for you. Because they're laden with it. You gotta like take it as like a sign of the times, I guess, because like it's so stupid. Like a lot
So
of
did
those
you
movies
just say
are so
misogyny?
goddamn
I went to itch my
idiots.
my ear,
Yeah.
so I took
Yeah.
the headphone out. I mean,
If
yeah,
you
that's
want
kind of like
women
it.
that are not treated well, you should watch those movies.
Yeah. And a bit of casual racism every once in a while.
Just a sprinkling, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's how you get your rocks off.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. That's Bond for you.
yeah, I've
Those
heard
are
quite a
James
lot.
Bond
That's,
movies for you.
that's like what a lot of people, like English students and film students, write their like dissertations about how like James Bond is like one of the most like degenerative characters of all time.
Yeah. Like this one wasn't as sexist as the last one. They only
love that.
killed
It wasn't
about
as
3
bad.
women in this one.
Woohoo!
James Bond, like every time he comes across, I think I got it down to like a formula now. Every time he comes across a woman, it doesn't even need to be like an attractive woman. They're all attractive. Every time he comes across a woman, I'm like, oh, I bet James Bond has sex with her, and then he does. There was like what was it? It was one where like there's like a Russian spy called like Triple X or something. What a fucking name. They're like, Triple X, you gotta go do some shit. I'm like, even though they're in different countries, like on the opposite ends of the world, I bet James Bond's gonna have sex with her.
Yeah, that's like not
And
even
he
subtle, is
does.
it?
And he does.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll say
I
it
love
now.
it.
I do not like Roger Moore as James Bond. I kind of hate him.
I don't know if I ever watched any of his. I know I watched all of Sean Connery's.
Yeah.
But I don't know about anyone else.
I can't comment on that either.
I was off put by Connery because of all that, but then like watching Roger Moore, I was like, this guy's such a creepy little man. He's such a disgusting little fuckboy. Like, it just makes me really uncomfortable to see him, and I don't like him as the character at all. It's just like you want him to fail, watching those movies, I'm like, I want this guy to die. I want him to fail. It's not what you want to be.
Yeah, not what you want to be saying to
I
a
feel like
James
you want to be
Bond
saying
film.
with
has
a
a
James
lot of
Bond movie.
charm.
That's
He
what everyone
does,
says,
yeah, he
though,
had a
innit?
lot of
Yeah.
charm. He had a bit of the casual misogyny, but you know, leave it to him. He was a good James Bond. All things aside, Roger Moore, I'm not feeling it, and I haven't even got through him yet. They had like one movie with George Lazenby, and that was all right, but it was just the one movie because then they got Sean Connery back for like one movie where they made him Japanese. They like surgically put him into a surgery, and then they made him Japanese.
Yeah, Chris told me about this, and I was like, "No, you're joking." And he showed me the actual shot of him being Japanese, and I was like, "What?"
That's the best
put,
one.
like, a
That's
wig
the
on
one
him.
I used to watch a lot as a kid.
I don't even understand how that computes. Like, how do you make someone Japanese?
They had him on the operating table. They were like, James, if you want to blend in here in Japan, you got to marry a Japanese woman and be Japanese. So we're going to turn you Japanese. It basically just amounts to like them putting a wig on him. And then like, you're Japanese now, my friend. Well
And he
done.
squints slightly.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah.
Wow,
It's like not
What?
even racist. He's just funny as hell.
what a product of its time, though.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful.
Over the last few
like-
days, me and
yeah.
Darcy have been watching a bunch of Pixar movies.
Yeah,
Mm.
we watched Monsters Inc. the other night.
Yeah.
Classic.
And was it yesterday we watched both Up and Ratatouille?
Yeah, no, we watched Up and then. Oh, I thought we watched Ratatouille the day. No, because we watched Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yes. So
It's been about 3
either
nights
way,
now.
we've
We're
watched
lost.
Monsters Inc., Up and Ratatouille.
See, and we everyone on the podcast texted me at me because I never cry at any movies, right? All of a sudden, I'm bawling at Monsters Inc. for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Your mum bullied me. She was like, "Why would you cry at that?" It's true, actually. Why would you?
It's a sad movie.
I thought it was
No.
cute.
That end
Oh,
shot is like devastating. In
I think
Monsters
it's just
Inc.
really sweet.
It was sweet. That's
It
why I was
is, yeah.
crying. I thought it was really cute. I was like, "Oh, no."
God! Oh God!
Yeah, Up was the one that broke me.
Oh, I've never seen anything like it.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't like normal sobbing. It was like full, like shoulder moving sobbing. I was like, holy fuck.
Which part? Like I have to ask.
See, we're laughing.
Yeah,
It was,
it's obvious what part it is.
who said what?
That's when they're
part?
up in the air, and then he's on
Oh.
he's on the porch, and then the kid's on the porch, and he's like, "I gotta come in, man." And then
Yeah.
the guy's like, "No, man. Oh man, I'm just thinking about that little kid on the porch there, up in the air. It makes
Oh,
me sad."
To be fair, the only part that, well, I mean, most of it's quite sad, but there was one part that caught me off guard, and it was the bit where he goes and gives him his little grape soda badge. I was like, oh, why you gotta be like this?
Now, the devastating part in that movie is where he like abandons the kid, and he's like, I'm gonna put the house on the hill," and he's just like dragging it through the hill, and he just like abandons the kid. I'm like, oh man, no, why have you done this, man?
He's a fool.
I can't take it.
Yeah, it
That's a great
just
movie.
makes me
So good.
appreciate Pixar when they
We're good.
actually try.
We were actually talking about this. We were like, oh, what other ones could
Yeah.
we watch? Because we were like getting into the sort of, when it was good. So then I was like, oh, I haven't
Mhm.
watched Ratatouille in English. I watched it in French, but not in English. So we watched
Really?
it. Yeah, you know when
Why?
you do French GCSE or whatever in high school, and they're like, oh,
Oh, right.
the best way to learn is to, watch a fucking film in French. So I watched
It's not even like
Ratatouille.
let's watch a French movie.
Yeah,
let's,
no.
Let's get a regular English spoken movie, and put the audio to
Yeah.
French.
Well,
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
that, and I
brilliant.
think Ace Ventura was the other one that we.
Oh yes,
Mm-hmm.
the film that is notoriously French.
Well, yeah, at least Ratatouille has a.
At least it's set in France.
Yeah, it had
Like,
something.
I feel
going
like
for
you
it.
could easily watch the French dub of that, and it would like actually make sense.
Yeah, like it begins with a French shot, and I said, "Oh no, I'm watching it in French again."
Wow, great.
Anyway, should we?
Nice.
You watched the
Um,
Oscars, Max?
Oh yeah, ugh.
Yeah, I watched the Oscars. I was the
Good.
only person who watched the Oscars after Chris and Darcy ditched me and it was about 1 a.m. because
Right,
it aired at 1 a.m. here.
We had
Go on.
every intention of watching the Oscars, Max. We went for a nap and we woke up, and then I couldn't use a trial of Now TV, and Chris went, well then, I guess we're going to bed.
Yeah, and then I said, we could zoom, and then I'll point the camera at the TV in my house, and then you can watch it like that, but then you guys were already asleep. You
I
guys
was
like went,
exhausted.
oh man, I can't do this, and then you like head smacked into the pillow and you were out like a light.
We were really, really tired, to be fair.
I'd been drinking and I was exhausted from that.
Well, I had COVID, which is the same, so I was extra awful, and I watched it all. God damn it! And man,
Yeah,
is it bloated! It is a bloated goddamn ceremony.
Everyone said
full
that,
of-
didn't they?
I've heard this one was like
Really boring
especially
as well.
bad.
full of awful people, self-congratulatory bastards who want to pat themselves on the back for doing the bare fucking minimum. Everybody's talking about like Will Smith, but who gives a who fucking cares, honestly? Like I watched that and I watched it happen, and I was like, that was fake. And then like it went past, and then everyone was like, I can't believe it happened. I'm like, oh, I thought it was like not real.
Yeah, like,
so I kind of glazed over that. The rest of it was boring, and it
Sounds
took
good.
too many breaks, and there were a lot of people there, just kind of, just all the people you kind of hate in the world.
Just rich
and they like
people.
announced like a category, and they were like, here's who won, and let's go to a commercial break. Okay, we've done with
Apparently,
that.
yeah.
Now
Apparently
let's
that's
have a
something they do a
performance
lot.
from whoever, Billie Eilish. Fuck it. Okay, that was great. Next ad break, awesome. And then it was like that for 4 hours. About 4
Yeah,
hours.
apparently in America they do that all the time. Like they have
Yeah.
ad breaks after like everything. For some, I don't know why.
To make money. Like you get a lot of
Yeah.
TV shows where like they'll show the opening credits of the show and then there'll be an advert.
That's fucking awful. Why would you do that?
There were some presenters there, and they were particularly unfunny, even though they really tried to be. I forget who it was. Amy Schumer and some other
Amy
people.
Schumer. There was Wanda Sykes and someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know who else was there. All I remember was seeing an article the next day, or it was like a couple of days after, that said something along the lines of Amy Schumer still traumatized by the slap from Will Smith to Chris Rock, and Chris just turned around and went, "Grow up."
It's true.
Yeah, they don't
Why
care.
is she traumatized? It didn't happen to her. Who fucking cares?
I might as well have. I tell you, I might as well have.
Yeah, people are acting like it's like some shocking thing, like they've just watched 9/11 on TV or something. It's literally just
It's just a punch.
a rich
That's what it
person
was.
slapping another rich person.
Who gives a shit?
I can't
Like,
believe
even-
this happened to Marty.
Osmosis Jones himself.
Sorry, I'm just going back through, because I was like live blogging the whole thing to you guys, even though you were asleep, just so I had like
I
a few
appreciated
notes.
it. I really did
Like
appreciate
you woke
it,
up
though.
and were like, oh, look at this. Amy Schumer had a joke that was like, Maggie and Jake Gyllenhaal, they're probably sleeping together. I was like, haha, thank you, Amy. That was really funny. You are a good comedian. And it was just
She's
like
a-
me, like complaining whenever anybody won. It's like- okay, because nobody like who cares? Are we even going to talk about who won? I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
No,
Nobody
not
knows who
really.
won. Nobody knows who won because everybody's talking about the slap. So
Probably because
that's
like
what
no
got
one
overshadowed.
noteworthy won. I feel
Well,
like
I
this
know-
is like
I-
the one
No.
where they picked the most safe and obvious picks.
Yeah, like
Except for Best Picture, where they picked one that no one was expecting, literally just to shock people. But because of the
Yeah.
slap, no one cares.
well, I've only heard of the movie, but I don't know much about it. I actually had to look it up because I was like, what the fuck even is that? And I thought,
Yeah.
it sounds
Yeah,
different.
I mean-
I've heard it's like the most Oscar baity movie.
Oh, really? It does
It
kind of
probably is,
seem
yeah.
that way, doesn't it? Like, it's like, I am a child of deaf parents. oh no, I must look after them, but I must chase my dreams.
I feel like it's like a movie that in a few months' time people will actually be start talking about it and how Power of the Dog got snubbed.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I like Power of the Dog, but I don't know. Would I have it as the best picture? Probably not. But then it did win, so I don't know. Don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Like the geezers from Coda seemed happy enough. I liked that they seemed happy. You know, but then I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they deserved it. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shit on it. I'm just saying.
Oh, the golden stuff was like the hosts like objectifying the men. And it was funny because they were objectifying the men. There was like a part where like one of the hosts was like, I want these men to come up onto the stage and then I can like take them round back because we need like a strip search going because of the vaccine or something. So like they get like Timothy Chalamet up on stage and like Tyler Perry and Jason Momoa and all these like strapping lads. She's like, come on, I'm going to fuck you or something. Like, okay,
yeah, like,
great.
I think it's quite. I mean, I think I'm. It's. I don't think it's very. Is it a bit controversial though to be like, oh yeah, it's okay when women do it. Women can send these men behind and fuck them backstage. But if a man was to do that, fucking right.
Well, they didn't. It was just a joke, Darcy. They didn't actually do that.
No, but you know what I mean. Like it's like is that the best form of comedy that we've really got from these three people? Sex jokes and fucking
the best form of comedy is when we get like Amy Schumer coming down from the rafters in a Spider-Man suit. She's like hanging there.
Did that actually happen?
I can't get down, guys. She's got like these like
that
silly string
happened?
Things for webs. She's like spraying the people. Yeah.
I mean, to be
That
fair,
was funny.
I would have kind of enjoyed that, to be honest, because at least it wouldn't have been a joke about how she's Amy Schumer or how she wants to fuck some random guy or the fact that she's Amy Schumer.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
They got a
There
bit
was
of that in
where
there,
there
don't
was
worry.
like a joke where she stole Kirsten Dunst's seat. I didn't really
Yeah.
get that joke at all.
No, me neither.
Oh,
I don't really. I kind of vaguely remember that happening, but I guess it was trying to be funny, but it didn't
yeah,
work.
maybe
That's
it
just
wasn't.
her.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't specifically like a joke for Kirsten Dunst. It was just like, she's up, I'm gonna take her seat because it's funny.
Yeah, it was the part where
Yeah.
like she took the piss out of how nobody saw The Last Duel. Everyone's like, haha, no one saw that movie. I was like, yeah, I know, it's a shame.
She's
isn't
got a
it?
good point though. Nobody saw it. She's got a good point. But
So, yeah.
it was a great fucking movie. I hope
Yeah,
she
but they
watched
don't know
it.
because nobody watched it.
No, I hope she did though.
Apparently, no one in the
No, of
world
course she
watched
didn't.
it.
No.
Mm.
There was like it cut out a few times, like it kind of like just cut, or like sometimes it would just introduce a category, like go through them really quickly, and just be like, this person's won, and then like they like boot them off the stage immediately. They'd be like, all right, get out of here, you got your award. It was like Questlove who like got onto the stage and like he started crying, and then the transmission cut out. And then like when it came back on, he was no longer there. So that was funny.
What the hell? And you're telling me that went on for 4 hours?
Yeah,
Where
it
was the
annoyed me because
content?
like it never cut on like the boring performances. So like when Will Smith like won his award, he was on there for ages and like it never cut, and he was up there sobbing. Everyone was like, "Will Smith, I got you, man," and like it just went on forever.
Was this before or after he slapped the
That was
shit?
after.
Oh,
Yeah, it was after.
really? They just everyone was just kind of like, oh yeah, go Will Smith, even though he just beat the shit out of someone
Yeah.
on camera.
Well, supposedly
Fucking hell.
the Oscars people asked him to leave after the slap, and he said no.
He was like, I'm winning that award. I'm fucking doing my speech.
Yeah. I guess we should talk about who won then. So like Dune got a bunch of awards and they were announced like beforehand, so everybody knew. So it got best sound, it got best visual effects. But funnily enough, like when it got best visual effects, they got up onto the stage and then like they started talking and then like the music started playing immediately, so they had to leave. that was funny. It got production design, it got editing. None of these are particularly
surprising.
Surprising, really. It deserves all those awards, in my opinion. Because it's just one of the great movies. I've just sung its praises enough. But like we know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a thing. They played like a reel that was like a montage of the most cheer-worthy moments, and number one was just cheer-worthy moments. Just when you watch a movie and you cheer.
Oh right,
and you
okay, I got you.
That's a moment where I'm gonna cheer. So the most cheer-worthy moment was when the Flash enters the Speed Force in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Are you
and I saw that, and I thought, what is happening?
I think that was audience voted.
Yeah,
that
they
is
got
horrific.
like fan favorite. So like the fan favorite one got Army of the Dead. That's what that was.
Army of the Dead. Are you having a bloody giggle?
Yeah, there's like 10 people that like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Only 10 people voted in the.
Paid the Oscars.
Yeah.
I guess people like that movie. I don't know. Best makeup and hairstyling goes to The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I didn't see that one. I don't really care.
No, it doesn't look very good. Even the makeup looks really fake. It literally looks like they're wearing like Bo Selector masks.
I don't know, man. I saw a little picture of Andrew Garfield, and he looked pretty dapper. He looked alright.
Yeah, they haven't really done a lot to him.
Yeah, because he's gorgeous. You don't need it.
He doesn't need it. No.
Maybe that's it.
And in that same kind of boat, costume design went to Cruella, which is not super surprising.
No.
And I mean, we said, oh, you know what? If Cruella's going to win anything, I prefer it to win costume design. I disagree, because, like, whatever. Like, I read about how they designed the still suits in Dune, and it's just, like, got me, like, so hyped about, like, how much effort went into everything that went into that movie.
Maybe
they were basically functioning still suits. Like how they work in the movie is how they actually kind of worked in real life, sort of. And that's just amazing to me.
If Disney are funding it, they've got to win at least 2, right?
Sure. Well, they won quite a bit.
They were like, we've got to win this one.
Yeah, even Spencer could have won that. I don't know. Short films. I'm going to skip over the short films and the.
Who won the documentary?
Best document? I don't know. Let's see. Documentary was Summer of Soul.
Oh, okay.
I think she meant documentary short, because obviously she watched that.
Oh, yeah. No, I watched one of them. I was just curious.
The short documentary was Queen of Basketball.
Okay, no. Queen of Basketball. Okay. What a cool, cool one. Yeah. Cool. Right.
Yeah, let's just blast through these. Best adapted screenplay was Coda. Coda got quite a lot. It was kind of like the little like hidden gem sort of movie, I guess, where like nobody was kind of expecting it to blow up so much, but
the underdog.
Did. Yeah, it was like the underdog. Best original screenplay was Belfast, and I mean, wait, so okay. Best adapted screenplay. I'm just going to say this. Dune was fucking robbed, man. It was fucking robbed. It should have gone to either Dune or it should have gone to Power of the Dog. Dune was supposed to be unadaptable. And he fucking did it. They actually did it. They adapted it. They adapted the unadaptable and it still didn't win.
Wait, is that the one that Coda won?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can't comment on that, but...
Yeah, that's just my gripe with that. Best original screenplay went to Belfast. Also,
right now, let me tell you why that is bullshit. Because
it's not a good movie.
I just think it's a bit boring.
It's not even a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie,
but it's really badly written. Like there's
Sorry.
The film, the way it like tries to get emotion out of you is literally just by like playing music and stuff. It's like really manipulative in that way. There's no emotion caused by situations or by characters or anything like that. Like I guess some of the dialogue is kind of like how children speak, but at the same time there's a lot of stuff where it's like no kid has ever said anything like that in the world. Like the characters I don't think really like sound like real people. They do sound like characters for the most part.
I don't. I find it quite hard to comment on the film most of the time because I was either in so much pain or I was just kind of bored by it. So I don't really remember all these key elements that came out. But
This is maybe putting you on the spot a bit, but can you is there a quote from there that you were kind of referencing maybe?
No.
No? Okay.
No,
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, the only thing I can remember being really super weird was how politically charged this kid was, and he's only 9.
Yeah.
He's all like,
well,
oh, why,
9-year-olds.
Yeah.
Why are the Irish two sides of Ireland fighting? I'm confused.
Yeah.
And it's
There's one bit where he goes, "I don't want to leave Belfast." That's
Is that the quote? Is that the quote you're going with?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the only line.
He doesn't want to leave Belfast.
That's fair.
That's a big point in the film. He doesn't want to leave Belfast.
No, I liked the scenes with who's the woman that's in this film?
Judi Dench.
Yeah, she was really good in that film.
She was alright.
No, if we're talking about saving graces of this film, she was really good. But
Yeah.
I don't think it was enough for me to be yep, that is definitely worthy of an Oscar. Not to be rude, I just didn't feel like it was,
Sure, well,
something-
she didn't get the Oscar, so.
Well, to be
rest
honest,
easy.
it's whatever, innit?
Best original score went to Dune. No one's surprised. It was a
No.
good score. Best original song went to No Time to Die by Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell. I wanted that one to win, so I'm happy with that.
It was the only song I liked that was nominated.
I'm not mad. I
Mhm.
don't even like that song that much, but it's the best out
It's
of the
a
ones I've
Bond
heard.
theme, of course it's going to win.
Sure.
I've heard better
Yeah.
Bond themes, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No. Yes. But I like the song. I think it was
Yeah,
the
I
best
like it a
song.
lot.
So, yeah. Why not? Best international.
Sorry.
You're right. Best international
Ian.
feature film went to Drive My Car. That was the Japan one.
Well,
Yeah.
Chris, can we talk about this for a quick second? Because Chris didn't even finish the movie, and coming from me, and you obviously knowing Chris, I don't think I've ever seen him not finish a movie unless he had
Happens
to.
occasionally.
Yeah, no, not unless you had to. So what was it? What?
I don't know. I just couldn't really get invested into it. I'll give it another chance at some point. I think maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mind at the time. Because I find that a lot of the time with a film, especially like Drive My Car, where it's very, I don't know, it's just very slow. It's very kind of poetic in the way it's trying to deliver all these themes and the way it kind of moves along. So you really have to be in the right mood to enjoy something like that. So maybe I just wasn't there. But I just couldn't really connect to it, so I just found it really boring.
See, and now what you described there is me watching any film pretty much ever.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a badly made movie. I just couldn't get into it. But
Mhm.
I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Obviously, there were a lot of movies that were snubbed in that category. Petite Maman being one of them. I would have preferred that to have won, but
Yeah, that film
we're
was quite
shooting for the
sweet.
stars with that,
Titan.
aren't we?
Oh, Titan was in there.
Titan
No.
would have won.
It
Yeah.
wasn't nominated.
Oh, no, you
It
can't
was-
nominate a car horror
No,
fucking emotional picture.
it was submitted.
Oh, was it?
It was like France's official submission, but it wasn't even shortlisted.
Oh, it was a
Which
great
basically
film.
just means
but-
the Academy watched it and were like, gross. Let's get that away
I
from
mean,
us.
let's be totally honest. It is pretty grim, but I mean, I totally get it. It's one of those things that, like, if it's got even like an ounce of gore in it, you're snubbed.
They
You-
probably
you
didn't
can't be
watch it.
done.
They probably just went on IMDb, saw it was classed as a horror movie, and were like, "Nah."
100%. It's not that kind of the Academy are pussies, to put it politely.
Sure. Speaking of the Academy being pussies, the best animated feature film went to a Disney movie because it was mostly Disney movies, I think, or like half Disney movies were nominated, and it went to Encanto. Nobody's
Not
surprised.
surprised. I haven't seen it yet though, but I don't know if I don't know if I really want to. It just doesn't seem all that interesting.
It was fine.
Yeah, I know.
was
I
fine.
don't want to sit there and watch a film that's fine.
It was really boring.
What's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's like nothing you've never seen before from Disney.
Didn't you
Yeah.
say
Like
it was
exactly
like?
what you would expect.
Did someone say it was like Coco or something? Or some film where it's like
it's sort of like that. It's like, family's important, and here's a kid, and he's got to learn that family's important or something. Yeah, it's kind of it's
more
like
of
that.
Moana.
Oh, I mean, I like Moana though, so I could like it. But I don't know.
I didn't really like
maybe.
Moana that much.
I like Moana. I thought it was.
It's just a fine Disney movie. There's nothing really amazing about it.
No, I just
All I know
feel
is
like
that I watched Encanto and I never thought about it again.
No.
Do you know what? That's the only reason I haven't watched it, because I know for a fact that that's going to be me. Like, everyone's hyped about it, and I'll just be like, "Yep."
There was not
we
really
go.
any animated movies out this year, though.
No, that's probably
Right.
why. If there's not that
That's the
much
problem.
competition, it's not going to be. Yeah. It's not going to be that hard to win.
Suck it. I would have taken that animated Witcher movie that Netflix put out. That was good. That was like the best animated movie I saw last year.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, watch that if you're into The Witcher or Gore or whatever. That's a good one. Best supporting actor, Troy Kotzer and Coda. I have nothing to say about that. I don't know if you guys did.
No, if I haven't seen it, there's not much point in me saying anything about it. To be fair,
Should have gone to
Best
the guy
support-
from Titan.
he was great. To be fair,
Yeah. Best supporting actress went to Ariana DeBose in West Side Story.
Yeah, she was good in that. I liked that
But
movie,
was she
actually. I
better
watched it
than
not that long
Kirsten
ago.
Dunst? Was she better than Kirsten Dunst in fucking Power of the Dog?
No.
No, well, there we fucking go. Best
I
actor.
love that. It was a straight no. There wasn't even any thinking it. It was just like no.
Best actor went to that guy, Will Smith, from the King Richard movie where he played Richard.
From the infamous
And he went on for-
Hitchcock film.
He went on for ages about how epic he was. Well, whatever. I don't remember what he fucking talked about. He just cried a lot, and he was like, "This is for everyone, man. This award is for you guys." And that was
Why
it.
do they say that? No, it's not. It's not for me. It's for you prick.
He's
I
the one
hate when
that's
they do
making
that.
a lot of money from winning that award, and who from now on can demand a higher salary in films because he has an Oscar under his belt. It works like for no one other than him.
I don't understand that. This one's for you. All right, Jill from the fucking council estate working at Poundland. Now you're a winner, baby. Like, shut up, Will Smith, you fucking prick. Go back to your
I think
fucking...
it was more for like, oh, it's for you guys. It's for you, Serena and Venus Williams, who are up in like a booth. He's like
To
pointing.
be fair, I wish he'd just
and
said
they're like,
that. Just
yeah,
say
Will
that then.
Smith. You're the man, Will Smith. Thanks for being Richard. And he's like, thank you. I was great as Richard.
I mean, to be fair, I guess the context of the story, I guess it sounds like it would be an interesting story, but it's not a film that I'd want to watch, if that makes sense.
No, it looks just dull as shit.
Yeah. Anyway,
Was it
moving
nominated
on.
for Best Picture?
Best actress. No,
Yeah.
best actress was Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
I kind of saw that coming, but only because everyone was hyping up that film a lot. But once again, haven't seen it, so I'm not going to comment.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst
Nothing to say.
was not Kirsten Dunst. Christian Stewart was Rob.
Yeah, she was. But well, yeah, whatever. She doesn't care. She put on a great performance. And, this next one is a little weird because it gets a little dicey when we get to like the best director, and then following up with like the best picture. When they kind of don't match, it's like, well, what was all that for? So, well, actually, first we'll do best cinematography, which went to Dune. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Obviously. I don't know, I just find it weird that Dune was nominated for all these things and it wasn't nominated for director. It's like, yeah, we love all the parts that make Dune, but we don't like the guy who made all those parts fit together. And we also don't want to nominate him or any of those actors who are in the movie.
It is a little bit nonsensical, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest. Like, where was Timothy Chalamet nominated for Best Actor? Was he? I don't know if he was actually.
No.
I don't get that. I
none
don't
of the guys
understand.
from Dune, none of the actors were nominated from Dune. And the director got nothing. Everybody who like worked on Dune went up except for him and the actors, and they all said his name wrong. And then they were like, "Yeah, you're the man, Dennis. Love you."
I love that. We said your name wrong, but you're the man.
Yeah. I do kind of get why none of the actors were nominated, but I don't understand how Denis didn't get a nomination.
Yeah, no. So I mean, like, I'm not saying that the actors should have been nominated, but yeah, if you're thinking about all, like, everyone loves that film, right? You would think it would be nominated for something in almost every single category anyway. Like, regardless.
I disagree. I think those actors should have got something. I really liked, Timothée Chalamet. I really liked Oscar Isaac and Rebecca Ferguson. I thought they were really bloody brilliant in that movie, honestly.
They were really good, but I do get them not being nominated, but not Denis.
It's because for that movie is more like a spectacle thing. It's about the spectacle and not like the acting so much, I guess. So that leads into who got Best Director. That was Jane Campion for Power of the Dog.
Well deserved. She won something.
Very, very well done for that.
I'm proud of her. Wait, didn't you say that she was like the first woman to win Best Director or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so well done.
Fuck
really
me.
Great.
Do you know what? Fair enough.
Well deserved, although it's just, I don't know, like that and nothing else. Strange, isn't it?
It is, but it's also, we're talking about the Oscars here, like, I don't really know what to say.
Is the person that helms the movie, is the person that makes the movie what it is, literally directs the movie. So, well done to Jane Campion for that, but the best picture went to Coda. Even like,
you would think that if you win Best Director, you should win Best Film.
This was the best movie. This was the best picture. That we're not going to nominate its director. We're not going to like give its director a win. Even though they're the person who made the movie. Like, they're the head of the whole thing. They're the head of the pyramid. So, like, what? It doesn't add up. I don't really understand how they make these decisions.
Was the director of that film nominated?
I don't know. Now I have to look things up, Darcy.
Yeah, because none of it does. Like, none of it makes any sense. It's just nonsensical.
I'm looking it up. God damn it. I don't know. Let's just say yeah. Let's just say yeah, probably.
It's fucking stupid.
Oh, I can't find it. Whatever. Yeah, probably. Probably they were. And then they all got up and they were like, this is an important movie. Thank you and good night. And then Amy Schumer came on and she was like, that's that. I'm Amy Schumer and I'm awesome. And then it ended. And I watched it all. I watched all fucking 4 hours of it.
Was it great?
Would you watch it again?
I would watch it again if I was with people. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do this time, but you guys ditched me. But we'll see.
Honestly, do you know how much better it would have been if we were able to actually sit in a room and watch it together?
I'll tell you this now, if we were like all together in the same room, we like had a few drinks, that would have been a really great night. But I just had to like watch it alone. I had COVID. I'd like just woken up from like a nap. It was 1 a.m. I was having a miserable time. It like introduced it with a Beyonce song. Beyonce got on like a thing and she was like, I'm on a tennis court. Serena and Venus Williams introduced her and she was like, they're like, it's Beyonce time. So like, they cut to her on like a tennis court and she was like, I'm going to sing that song that I did for that movie and it sucked and everything was green. Everything was green. Everything was green. Think about like, so it's like just performers dancing on a tennis pitch, but it's more green than you are used to a tennis pitch being. The walls are green, the floor is green, the actors, they are not green, but their dresses are green, and they're dancing a lot, and Beyonce singing a song. And that was basically a precursor for the entire night. And I was like, it's not going to get better than this, is it? This is it.
No, that was the peak.
That's where it peaked.
That's where it peaked. I'm pretty
Thanks,
sure you said.
Oscars.
Did you send a picture of it and you went, "Why is he so green?"
Yeah, I did. The green eggs didn't hammed it up. So
Yeah, they bloody
that's
did.
that. Thanks, Oscars. Great. We watched some other movies. It's been a while, but we watched some movies again. We watched the John Wick ones. The
We
three
did.
John Wick
Yeah.
trifecta from Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves as John the Man Wick. John
John the
Baba Yaga
Man
Wick. You want to introduce the first one, Crizzle?
Yeah.
What are we laughing at?
I'm going
just
insane.
so lost.
I'm going insane already. I'm coming over with fucking delirium.
It's because I was still looking at films to pick for later, so
Do you
I
know
had to
what? I
quickly go
noticed that.
back on.
All I saw was I just saw Max's profile up, and I was like, "Fuck's sake!"
Okay. First film, John Wick from 2014, directed by Chad Stahelski, who did all three of them.
Yeah.
The film stars Keanu Reeves, who plays the title character. After his wife dies of cancer, suddenly a dog arrives in a crate. It's a last present to John from her. And when a group of guys break into his house, kill the dog, and steal his car, it turns out John Wick is actually an ex-hitman, and he uses his skills to track down these people and track down all those around him and brutally murder them all.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
It's not often that a movie like starts and okay, I've seen all these movies before. We've all seen all these movies before, I think.
Darcy hasn't seen any of them.
No, this was
Darcy
my
hasn't seen
first
any of them.
experience.
But I've seen all these movies before, and like I started this movie and I was like I was already hyped. And I don't know. I was like, I know what's gonna happen. I'm like, everything that like happens before, like the rampage, is like, it's just like, I'm so hyped for it. Like immediately, I'm like, so little does a movie do this for me. I was just like there in my seat. I'm like rattling my fucking the seat, the arms of the chair, just like fucking. Oh my god, I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be so cool. This movie's so cool, man. It's awesome. This is a great fucking movie. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I love this movie. I've seen it once before. I've seen all of these once before. I think for me, the first one is my favorite in the series. It's the one that I feel like just the most invested in, especially like on an emotional level. I think they do a really great job of setting up like a great motivation and emotional investment in such a short period of time. Like it's not long until like his dog dies and he's like goes on this mission to take revenge on these people, but like you are instantly just like hooked into it and invested.
Yeah, I didn't actually think that was going to happen for me because when it comes to action films, I'm kind of like, for some reason, I either love it or I hate it. There's like no in between. But I remember like starting this film and going, what the fuck? And then about 10 minutes in, I went, do you know what? I need to pause this and I need to go get some fucking cornflakes. But if I pause it right now, that's it. It's going to be over. So I'm carrying all my shit downstairs and I'm watching fucking John Wick in the kitchen. I'm watching it upstairs. I'm watching it in bed. Like, no joke. From start to finish, I did not put the laptop down. It was just in my hands. All right. No, I know watching a film on a laptop isn't like the best way to watch it.
What are you doing?
I had no other means of watching John Wick.
At least you didn't do it on your phone.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I really liked it
I'd
though.
watch
I
John
was
Wick
really
on a
getting into
ceiling
it.
if they let me. Yeah.
It was one of those films where I don't normally do that with a film because I don't normally get into films that easily, but this one, for me, out of the three of them, this was the easiest one to sit through. Literally, just had
shortest.
I had my bloody cornflakes. I was living life. I was watching this, and I was like, "Oh my god, all this shit's happening." It was really cool. And Alfie Allen's in it, and I love him. So
he is there. Yeah.
yeah, he is there.
It's weird. It's like, I mean, I have a problem with like like the Russian antagonist. It's like, oh, they're Russian. Who fucking saw that coming?
Yeah.
We've like as if we've never seen that before. But like, they're not Russian actors. It's just like Theon Greyjoy and the guy from Daredevil. And then
Yeah, what was that all about? I didn't understand that bit. Like, the rest of it made sense because the rest of them. Oh, I mean, I don't know if they actually were Russian, but it's a better effort than putting Alfie Allen from fucking Croydon up on there. Like, it didn't make any sense.
his accent is a bit sketchy, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird.
Sometimes he sounds American. But I mean, you don't really need like top tier performances from them, really, do you? Because it's all about the action, and the action is stellar. It's one of the best action movies, really. In terms of the action, in terms of the fight choreography, because Chad Stahelski, I think he was a stunt man. So like going into this, you're going to get some
stunt man in the Matrix movies.
Oh,
yeah. So there we go. It's
okay.
like, you go into these movies, you know you're going to get some top tier fucking action scenes, and goddamn, it really helps that like you feel like they know what they're doing. You know what Keanu Reeves knows what he's doing. He knows how to handle a gun, knows how to like discharge a gun and how to reload, and all these sick fighting moves they're doing. It's awesome. It's like a part where like they invade his home, and it's so fucking cool. And he like one of the kills is like. He smacks a guy on top of the tabletop, and he cracks his neck onto the side of the tabletop. And it's disgusting.
Yeah, the noise is ungodly. I remember cringing. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I must say, though, yeah, out of these films, it's very creative in its sequences, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, it's never really like, when those scenes happen, it's not boring, really, because you're just watching all this stuff happening. It's fucking chaos.
It's like when they kill a guy, you fucking feel like they're killing a guy. It's like
definitely.
A lot of movies don't get that right. It's like, oh, they killed a guy and now that guy's dead. But it's like, no, in this one, Keanu Reeves gets on top of a man. He like twists his fucking legs around his neck, and then like he jumps on top of him. He like pushes a knife into his sternum, and like because he's still fighting back, so the knife won't go in. So he like jumps up and down. He like punches his fist onto the handle of the knife, so the knife goes directly into him, like into his sternum or his neck, and he dies like that. It's fucking sick.
So
yeah, there's a few bits in the whole trilogy where he's like someone like it's trying to stop him from stabbing them, so like holding onto the knife, and he just whacks it to push it down.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I mean,
cool.
That's the thing, though. If you're gonna
That's
do
his
like
signature move, you know.
Yeah, if you're gonna do like an action film like this, yeah, why not just go all out? Like, we know it's ridiculous. Just go with it. Like, I want to see it. Like, I want to see it. Like, I know we're jumping a little bit, like, but there are some really gross like parts of these films, like where you see like their fucking eyes getting like fucking stabbed and shit. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much.
Out of the trilogy, this is definitely, in terms of action, the most basic one, but that doesn't mean it's not great. I think it's just because they ramp it up with every single like subsequent movie. But I think these sequences are so well done. They're so well choreographed. The editing's really, really fantastic in them as well. You can tell that they really did a great job of like mapping out these like the set design and specific locations for these action sequences, and using those locations and sets to their advantage.
Yeah, they're also like colourful. You know, they're really using like really nice sets and colour and like lighting
it's very, like,
really well.
neon-esque.
Yeah, that's what you want though. Then he goes to the club to get the kid. He's like, I'm gonna kill this kid, and then he like drowns his man in a fucking sink. It's like, well, fuck, man. It's
but
that whole
just,
scene where like he's in
the club.
Yeah, like go up to I do like how they use music as well. Kind of like when they're in the club, they don't really use like non-diegetic score. They're just using like the club music. So when it goes up to the like the penthouse type area of the club, it's just this kind of calm music that's going around. And it's like Enya, and he's like strangling fools as like Enya's going along. He like stabs a guy in like the neck or something. He like looks into his eyes as he covers his mouth, and then like stabs the knife into his neck and like up into his brain. And like, he just looks him in the eyes as he like falls down. It's weirdly sensual.
I kind of like that about the film though, that it doesn't play just like a movie song on top of it. I don't know. I feel like I'm there almost. Like I'm not hearing
intimate.
just some random background music.
It is intimate choreography, you know. When they get hands on, you feel the tension. When he shoots a guy in the head, you're like, oh, that guy literally just got shot in the head.
Yeah.
He actually just got shot in the head. It's like crazy VFX work, and like the sound design is insane.
Yeah, incredible sound design.
I like. Well, I know we're talking about sound design here, but I actually really like all the music that's in this film as well. It's very like industrial and like. Dun, 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 dun. That's such a terrible way of describing it. But I mean, I should be saying Marilyn Manson's name on this fucking podcast, but it is literally that sort of shit.
Yeah, well, he has a song in the film.
Yeah, I know. That's the only reason I said it.
Yeah,
was
he
because
has
it's
a song, Killing Strangers is in the film.
Yeah, like if someone was to tell me that this whole soundtrack was written by Trent Reznor, I'd go, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was like, I think Tyler Bates, who co-composes it with Joel J. Richards, he worked on the album that Killing Strangers is from.
Okay.
So
I
he's
don't know what
worked with
album that'd
Marilyn
be.
Manson. I can't remember what it's
No.
called. The Pale Emperor. It's like one of his newer albums.
Oh, okay. I mean, it sounded cool.
Yeah, I love the music. I don't think it's
Yeah.
anything like super unique. It's not something I've never heard in an action movie before, but I think it really does perfectly fit the tone of what they're going for.
Yeah, it's very grungy.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know that I liked Killing Strangers in there, though. I feel like they could have gone for a different song, or like they could have just used the instrumental.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't have to
then
have
Marilyn
his...
Manson starts singing, and it's like, oh, okay.
I don't think it needed to be in there really, but it was just the example that I was drawing out because it's the only thing I know.
It's a bit cringy listening to it now.
Yeah.
100%.
Killing strangers, we don't kill the ones that we love. Like, oh, okay, I don't need to hear
Marilyn
this, man.
Manson is.
Yeah. I think this one, in terms of like the dialogue, is probably the best written.
Yeah, I agree.
There like are some genuinely really great interactions. I really like. This is probably like the best villain we get for these movies. So you got like Vigo, who's kind of conflicted because like, oh, his son's killed John Wick's dog and stolen his car, and he knows who John Wick is, and they do this like really well done world building. And like the lore, they deepen the lore with like this kind of criminal underworld and this like assassin stuff that they've got going on. I really like all that. And he's like, I can't believe this. My son has killed John Wick's dog and stolen his car. Now I got to, out of principle, defend my son, even though I kind of really don't want to.
Yeah, especially when he's like, I'm not going to win.
Yeah,
I love Michael Nyqvist. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Nyqvist?
Nyqvist. I don't know.
I do like
Either
that.
way, I love him in the movie. I think he's like gleefully over the top in this movie.
Yeah, he's really great. There's like a part of like towards the end where like they're driving away because they like need to get away from John Wick, and like John Wick comes on and he's like in this car and he's like crashing into Vigo's car. Vigo's just like fucking laughing. He's like, I'm fucked. Like, this is
I
it.
love that. And he's and then everyone's like, who's got a gun? And then he waits until the last second to go, good luck, mate. And he just hands him the gun. Like it was going to do anything. He's like, nope, it's over.
Yeah. Baba Yaga, they call him the boogeyman. And I think that's like a really apt kind of moniker for him, because he's like this guy, he's almost like Batman. He's like all the fucking fear around him, and like the like you don't want to cross paths with this guy. This guy's going to kill you.
Yeah, I do like that
he's
bit
like,
where...
oh, John Wick is a man of focus. He will let nothing get in his way. And then they just prove it time and time again. It's like, oh,
yeah, I kind of
this
do
guy
like that
is
bit
insane.
where Alfie Allen comes in and his dad, his dad punches him in the face, or whatever, and is like, you fucked up. And he was like, this is, so you hear about the bogeyman? This is the man they sent to kill the bogeyman. And I was just like, fucking hell. He's like, this is John Wick, you're fucked. I love that.
In a lesser movie, they could say all these kinds of things, but not back it up. But they really do.
Yeah.
They just go out of their way to like really try to prove that John Wick is like the most insanely like legit dude going.
Yeah, like,
you don't want to cross his path.
I saw him kill 2 men in a bar with just a pen. It was like,
just a fucking pencil.
Like a man of legend.
Someone kill 3 guys in a bar with a fucking pencil. Who does that? One of my favorite parts of this movie is like in this kind of second act low point where they've captured him and he's tied up and they're like, it's just a fucking dog. And he was like, no, it wasn't just a dog. And he explains like what the dog means in relation to like his grieving process over his wife and like how like killing that is like killed part of him. And it's like, oh fuck. This is insane. Like this is like some of the best acting I feel that Keanu does in these movies is like this scene. And he says, you can either hand me your son or die screaming alongside him. I was like, that was so fucking cool. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's great. I think Keanu Reeves is the perfect pick for this role. I can't imagine anyone else being able to do it. Because I think so much of the role is quite blank and emotionless, and then he like has moments where he does just snap and he goes insane. And I feel like that's what he does best is either of those two. So I feel like it's just perfect to him.
Yeah, like has anyone seen him crack a smile in the whole trilogy? Because I'm actually trying to think about it. I think it's amazing. I think how he does it is just beyond. It's acting at another level. I'm just like, how are you doing that?
He was born to play this character.
Yeah.
This is so up his street. They could make John Wick movies until he dies. Like, I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't even really like think of another role I love him in except for this.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him in a lot, if I'm honest.
He is great at this and nothing else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that true though? I mean, I don't know. I haven't really seen him in anything. I haven't seen.
Yeah, he's all right in those Bill and Ted movies.
I haven't even seen The Matrix, so I can't even like pretend that I know.
Yeah, he was good in The Matrix, I guess.
He's like
he was good in that one Matrix
really
movie.
Blank in that movie.
Maybe that's why they were like, this man is just emotionless. Hire him now.
He's a fucking animal. It's like the fight scene at the end where like they're just like so worn out and they're fighting in the rain. It's like, just submit, man. Like nothing, you're not going to win this. He's like, this is not what civilized people do, John. He screams like, do I look civilized to you? I'm like, oh, fucking hell. I like that he's definitely made friends in this world. So like, a lot of people just know who he is from like the look of him. It was like that one bouncer that he like comes up to. Yeah, they're like, John Wick's a solid guy and he's all right to me. So like, he goes into the nightclub and he like puts a gun to the bouncer's head and he's like, why don't you take the night off, Francis? And he's just like, yeah, thanks. Thanks, mate.
Wait, we haven't even mentioned core best mate Willem Dafoe yet.
Oh, he's there. He is as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's barely in it though.
No, but I really liked when he was in it because he'd be like, go home, John, it's time to go home.
Yeah, when he showed up and I was watching it this time, I was like, wait, Willem Dafoe's in this movie? I've seen it before. I've completely forgot he was.
I got well excited. I was like, hell yeah, Willem Dafoe's in this movie.
Yeah, I've seen this a few times. Actually, didn't remember that he was in it.
Yeah.
Just like turns out, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I suppose he's in it for like 10 minutes at like collectively.
Yeah, well, you know, like John Wick has like gotten out of it. He's like killed Alfie Allen. He's like, that's me done. And then Vigo goes and he kills Willem Dafoe. And he's like, oh, he's just killed my best mate. So now I've got to go and kill him. I've got to go and fuck his shit up because he killed the Green Goblin, my best friend Green Goblin.
Yeah, how dare he? I do like that bit where
and I just thought like, yeah, you know what? If I was best mates with Willem Dafoe, I'd probably want to avenge his death too.
Yeah, but he dies in such like a I love it because it's just like so nonchalant. Like just before he dies, they like do all that stupid shit to him because he double crosses them, and he goes, "Fair play," and then he just kind of like gets killed, and he's just like, "Whatever." I thought it was fucking sick. I was like, "Go Willem Dafoe." I don't remember his name in this film. Sorry, he's just going to be Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't remember it.
I really love the way the film kind of builds this universe and this like underworld. They definitely build upon it a lot more in the sequels, but there's almost never a point where they just like stop and kind of explain what it is. They show instead of telling. It just keeps moving. They keep building it without ever stopping for like long scenes of exposition to explain what it is. Like I feel a lot of lesser movies would probably do. It just kind of throws you in the middle and you kind of have to figure it out. And I think that makes me appreciate it a lot more.
I do like the fact that it kind of takes its time doing that as well, because it'd be so easy just to be like, here is this underworld and we're going to explain it to you in 5 minutes. Why bother?
These characters know the world already. They know the underworld. It wouldn't do to have fucking Steve from Blue's Clues come out and be like, this is what this fucking shit is. This is why they have secret phones and little weird coins that they have, and here's the Continental. It's like a hotel but for assassins and all this shit. It's like, you can't spill blood in Continental ground. I thought that was so cool though. The Continental is like a place. I really like that.
Yeah.
Like you can't kill people in it. I think that comes into play a lot more in the next few movies. I really like that as a concept. I also love his little dog at the end. He gets a dog.
Yeah.
Rescues a dog.
But the dog is never named.
No.
No name.
I don't know why. No. It's just dog. But I like him. He's cool. Love that little pup.
He's like a little staffy. He's quite cute.
Yeah.
I love the beagle as well.
Daisy got done dirty.
Yeah, in real life was played by a beagle pup called Andy, who was only 8 weeks old.
Really cute dog. Do you know what?
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, I know you guys had warned me about the dog getting killed in this film or whatever, but part of me already knew that, right? Because I was looking at this beagle and I thought, that's not the dogs on the posters. Where did this dog come from, and who is this dog?
It turned into a different breed.
That's what happened. It grew up to be a staffy.
It's sad when the dog dies.
It's fucked.
I was like, but at the same time, I was like, this is where it all happens, man. It's all about to, I was like fucking shaking in my chair. I was like, come on. it's about to happen. He's going to go on a rampage. It's awesome.
I spent the whole time, literally, just rooting for the fact that he finds Alfie and beats the fucking shit out of him. I was well happy when he did it. I was like, yeah,
there's
that's what you get for
there's not a better setup than this, I don't think, in terms of justifying the actions of a character.
Oh,
he goes absolutely berserk, and you're just behind him the entire time. It's like, well, what do you expect?
Yeah, especially when a lot of people in this world, because they're proper hard-nosed, they're all like, oh, it's just a dog and a car. And Keanu's like, don't you fucking tell me how to feel.
Yeah, like he's in EastEnders.
That's actually how he sounds.
Okay.
He's in EastEnders.
I like the when the dog dies, it's the sad rising kind of music, and then he's cradling the dead dog, and then it cuts immediately to silence as the shovel just goes into the ground. I was like, that's such a cool bit of editing. Sorry, I'm just trying to compliment the movie.
Did you guys know that the scene where the dog poos, they use CGI to render the poo?
What do you mean render the poo?
They rendered it.
Because they couldn't get the dog to actually poo on commands. They had to use CGI to make it. Cost them $5,000 to do.
It cost them $5,000 to do a poo?
Yeah.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That's commitment though, isn't it? We need this dog to poo. We're going to pay $5,000 for this dog to poo.
Speaking of poo, I like that the cops stayed just well out of it.
Oh yeah, this is this is its own law, you know.
Well,
it's just Jimmy comes to the door and he's like, you working again, John? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. See you later, John.
They're kind of involved. Something I love about this whole trilogy is that, they only show people, the only people who get involved or even say anything are people who are actually involved in this world. There's never a bit where someone from the public gets hurt or interacts with the characters. It's kind of just, it's almost like they're outsiders and
it's almost if they don't even exist. They only exist to people that
they're just extras. They're people in the background while the real world.
Especially like in the club
this.
when they're having like these like fucking like shoot off scenes, and the people in the club are just like, yeah, having a good time, like nothing's happening. I was just like, okay. I mean, fair enough. It's cool.
I like all of that. It's great movie. Do you want to go on to ratings?
Yeah, what should we rate it?
Daisies.
Daisies.
Okay. Yeah, this is a really great action movie. Just a lot of fun. I feel like it's a movie I could just endlessly watch because it's just so enjoyable. It's pretty short. It's only like an hour 40, hour 50.
Hour 40, yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
always have a great time with it. I'm looking forward to eventually rewatching it. Guess I'll give it 8 daisies out of 10.
Yeah. I'll also give it 8 daisies out of 10. It's bloody good. It's one of the great action movies.
8 daisies.
Cool. Next one came out 3 years later. It's John Wick. Chapter 2. It was directed by Chad Stahelski again. And this one, John Wick, is back.
He is back, baby.
Santino. He's a guy, Santino D'Antonio. He comes to John Wick's house. He's an old sketchy business partner of John's. He comes back to ask him to fulfill a marker, which is basically this kind of blood pact or unbreakable vow. And he wants him to kill his sister, Gianna D'Antonio. And John says, "You're all right, mate. I don't want to do that because I'm retired." So Santino, his hand is forced, and he burns John's house to the ground. And as John cannot kill the man who holds his marker, he must exact the contract so he can get his own revenge once the mark has been fulfilled. Chapter 2. Just as poo or just as groovy?
It's just as grew.
What on earth was that as a rating system? I'm so lost.
Yeah, I think in some ways, I think this film's better than the first one, and at the same time, there's some things I don't like as much as the first one. I think the action is really what, for me, the second and third film, unlike the first one where I was like really invested in the story and what was going on. For me, the second and third film, what really keeps it going is the action. I'm not really that invested in what's actually happening, but the action is just so incredibly well choreographed and well done. This is like some of the best action sequences I've ever seen in a film, and that's really what keeps me enjoying this movie.
Yeah. I
don't know.
kind of don't care about the story, to be honest. It's like
No,
it's in the
it's not really
background.
about the story anymore, is it? It's just
I understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But I do like that they plant the seeds enough for you to hate this guy, D'Antonio. So like, you understand like where John's coming from when he like goes on his rampage and tries to kill him. I'm like, yeah, this guy probably deserves it.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a bastard.
I love the way they've introduced John Wick in this film, where it's like picks up straight from the end of the last one, where he's getting his car back from this like garage that's stolen it, and it's like loads of shots of like him in the shadows, slowly sneaking around and killing people before like finally emerging in this like really triumphant way. It's just a really cool opening, I think.
It's a really great opening, yeah. And you like he like creeps up behind this guy. He like comes out of the shadows, and he like smacks his hand on the guy's mouth. He's got like a cigar, and he makes him swallow his own lit cigar. Oh, it's horrible. Ooh, oh, it's crazy. All the stuff that happens. Yeah, I've got thinking like, why did you do all that? And then like, you didn't even kill all these guys before you got into your car, and then you decide, I'm gonna kill the guys with the car, and then his car gets completely fucked up.
Yeah. I like that they instantly basically say we're doing some more like action stuff. We're doing something different with this one. Like there's driving stuff and car stuff, which they didn't do in the first one. And I think it's really cool.
Yeah, they've got to amp it up. If it's just like the same thing, I don't know. You could just watch the first movie, but here it is like, I think the choreography, it like kind of steadily gets more inventive and creative as the movies go on. it's still seriously good, you know. And I'm never like questioning whether that's like what I really love about these movies is I'm never questioning whether what's happening is real or not because they just look so goddamn brilliant all the time.
Well, I'll be honest. I think I mentioned this to Chris, maybe just even today actually. But it took me about 3.5 hours to watch this movie because I had to keep
Why is that?
Well, basically, I had to keep stopping and starting it for one reason or another. And to be honest, it kind of took me out of the film quite a lot of it, and I was kind of bored. This definitely didn't. Out of the 3 of these, this had my attention the least. I couldn't sit there and watch it. I was just bored. It was really bad, but it was.
Wow.
It's not even like it was a bad film. It was just I was doing stuff.
State
There was
of
a lot
mind.
going on. It took me 3 hours to watch it, so I just wasn't really into it by the end of it.
I get that. I get that with like a lot of those. I felt like it was really trying to go for like these movies are kind of like James Bond in a way, but like if James Bond was a fucking maniac.
Well, if James Bond was a cool human
like,
being.
Not a misogynist.
With those movies, it's like, yeah. James Bond took one wife and then wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, John Wick is the guy that James Bond wishes he was.
But in real, I mean, yeah, it's still like a really pretty movie. All these movies are like really like they have a glow to them.
Yeah, they're really cool to watch.
Really lovely like set designs and color usage. Just like the first shot is like, well, the first scene is like they're out on like the roads in like the city. And like Victoria's Secret is like illuminated in pink, and it looks amazing. Victoria's Secret in particular, and then like John Wick like destroys this guy in his car. Is that this one?
Yeah, I think it is this one.
Yeah, he's like trying to find his car, and then like there's this guy on a motorcycle who he fucking crushes with his car, and like all like it's kind of like raining. It's been raining a bit, so like all the roads are like kind of like illuminated with like all the neon lights and stuff that the city is kind of glowing with. It all looks really lovely.
Yeah, you can really tell with this one that does a much higher budget because I think everything just looks so much better. Like set pieces, I think are so much they're so much grander, like a lot more excessive, and I think just visually it's a lot nicer to look at.
Yeah, like the more they go on, the more lavish they seem to become.
Yeah, they had like a couple tens of millions more with this one. I think the first one was like 20 to 30 million. This one's 40 million. They definitely use it very well. Especially, I think, just like a lot of really nice sets that they destroy. Like that museum is like really nice, and like they kind of like each room is like a level. So like he's got to go into a room, fight with the boss of that room, and then go on to the next one. It's kind of like a video game in that way. Like how Lawrence Fishburne just kind of shows up. Like it's like halfway through the movie, and it's like, I'm the king of the pigeons, baby.
I was just about to say, see the pigeon man.
Yeah, he's the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2.
Yeah, he's there.
I'm
and
a big
just
fan
like,
of Pigeon Man.
He's great. I loved him. He's really good. I'm like, it's Morbius or whatever.
It's Morpheus.
it's Morpheus.
That's an insult
That
to
guy,
Morpheus.
He's great. He's really good.
Yeah, I liked him as an
his
addition
inclusion
to this film.
Yeah, just like this
Also
kind
like
of
that- who's
idea
that
of like
geezer,
friends in low places.
Ian McShane, I don't know, I can't remember his name. Wilson.
Yeah, Ian
Wilma.
McShane, Winston.
Yeah.
Winston.
What a geezer.
He's great. Yeah, he's a geezer.
Yeah.
He is a geezer. They're all like mates with John Wick. None of them like really want to be against him a lot of the time, but sometimes they have to be. And that's all really interesting to watch. This kind of dichotomy with like the dynamics that kind of have to fray a little bit because of the rules that are in place with this the table they call it in this movie. People on the table, the high table.
Yes, the high table. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because that's why the guy D'Antonio wants his sister killed. It's like she's on this high table, so like if she dies, he gets her place on the high table, and then he can do some shit. I don't know. He doesn't really say. It's like, then I can be on the table, John. Don't you want me to be on the table, John? And John's like, I don't like you.
John doesn't
It's all
even
about
care.
him going on the table. No, he just don't like him.
I love how they really delve into this underworld and expand upon it a lot more in this film. Just like in the first film, they never like stop to explain things. They just they show you it. But I think they do such a great job of making you realize just how big it is and just how many people are involved in this world.
Yeah, you kind of feel a part of it. Like, it's hard to explain, but obviously, if you're a bit of an outsider and you have that man from Blue's Clues coming out and being like, so you see, this is where they keep the hotel rooms of the richest people and that. But, like, if you're down in there, it's like you're almost in it with them. Like, oh, yeah, I'm part of this underworld thing.
You don't even like want them to tell you certain things that have actually happened either.
You figure it
just
out.
kind of like infer it. There was like, it's interesting that this one doesn't feel. It kind of like each movie connects with the last one, like really very well. It's not like they made a movie and they're like, that did well, let's make another movie. It's like, no, it's just like pieces of the same puzzle kind of.
Yeah, I kept saying
so, like, in the first. No, go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that it was a bit like I was saying to Chris, that like every film is basically like a one long story. It's like a continuation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It could be like a series, you know. It could be like a mini series each movie. But with like the idea of like they've referenced it in the first movie, it was like, oh, you know what, John Wick, when he was in the game, he did a big hit for Vigo, and like that's what got him out of the game, and then he retired. And in this one, it turns out that like he got out because of D'Antonio, and D'Antonio helped him. But D'Antonio is a fucking nutter, so now he owes him. And you don't want to owe a nutter.
Something else I really love is the fact there's just like, I think there's so many more memorable action set pieces in this film. Like the third act of the film is pretty much just a gigantic chase sequence with loads of different set pieces. Like there's the really funny gunfight through the train station where they got the silencer. They're like shooting at each other, like surrounded by all these people. It's like, it's really, really cool, even if it is like really, really silly at the same
thing,
time.
like some just like these people, are they like invisible to the public or something? Like people just don't.
Yeah.
You don't see them or notice them. It's fucking.
I've
nuts.
seen that scene memed. I've seen it in like a lot of memes where like they're kind of shooting each other with silencers. That's really fun.
Yeah, there's also like a montage sequence, like showing all these different assassins trying to go after him and him just brutally killing him. And that's also a really great, memorable bit.
Is that
he shoots
one...
that big guy and like directly in the head, in the top of the head. He shoots him and he gets up.
Oh my god!
I love like how each of these like rooms are set out in the museum as well. That was at a point where I thought, so when he is fighting Cassian on like the train, I'm like, this is like the middle of the movie, but it's like, no, this is like near the end. It's just like, oh, this movie is like so well paced. It's like you don't even feel it, because it's just like so much fun the entire time.
Unless you're Darcy.
And then he gets to and then he gets to the Darcy's just wrong though. So he gets to like the museum, and like every like set they kind of use in a different way to like aid the choreography, and the fight choreography is like, oh, he's going around the corner, he's shooting some guys around the corner. There's like that famous shot where like he's out of bullets, so he just throws his gun at the guy's head across the room. It's great.
I must say that actually
like
made me laugh.
The mirror room is really great. All like the mirror maze, all that stuff is awesome. One thing I didn't really like about this movie is I think Ruby Rose is not like she was like a character in this movie. I don't really know that she did anything, but she was in it, and she got a lot of screen time, but I don't know to what end. I guess like, was she like really popular when this came out or something?
Yeah. What year was it?
So that's probably why.
Because she was in a series of
2017. It was when she was like in Orange is the New Black.
I was about to say everyone had like a massive hype on her for a little while.
everybody had a crush on her, so she's in John Wick 2 and she doesn't do anything. She
Yep,
also
that
doesn't
sounds
speak.
about right.
She can't speak, so she chooses sign
sounds about
language.
right.
But it's like, why was she there? She was there to like, she was really
She was there
hyped
to
up.
be hot,
And then when it
okay?
came to it, like she fights John Wick for about 10 seconds, then he kills her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. She was in it to be hot. Okay?
Okay.
You're welcome.
Something we've not actually brought up is the fact that pretty much all of the stunts in these movies were done by Keanu Reeves himself, which I think is really impressive because there's some really great stunt work throughout. I think in the first one it was like 90% of the stunts he did. In this one, there's only 2 bits he didn't do. There's the bit where he gets hit by a car and the
Fair
bit where
enough.
he falls down a flight of stairs. They're the only 2 stunts in the whole film he didn't do, which is pretty understandable because they're quite brutal.
Yeah, I mean, as far as he goes as his own stuntman, he's hardcore, to be honest. Like, Keanu Reeves is... Who is he?
He
Who
is
this
hardcore.
man? Like,
You've seen that
Jesus
video
Christ.
of him, like, he's at, like, a gun range and he's, like, going around these corners and, like, shooting, like, dummies. It's crazy. He knows how to do this stuff.
I appreciate
he is
that,
John
though.
Wick. As far as I'm concerned, he is this man.
Yeah. It's because he had to go through like months and months of training, like in all of these movies, training different like forms of martial arts and
Yeah, like,
driving and marksmanship and all this stuff.
I could believe that he is him. If someone told me tomorrow he's actually an assassin, I'd be like, yeah.
And I'm fine with it. He can do whatever he wants. I don't care.
Yeah.
I love that guy. I think there was like a getaway scene where like he's tasked with killing D'Antonio's sister, so she kills herself because she wants to go out on her terms, and like he shoots her in the head, and then he like there's this like really long drawn out getaway scene, and like a lot of the fighting, it is cool, but like I'm just like he's just like going through goons and like his job is done, but like he's got to go through a bunch of goons and like it's really drawn out and long.
Yeah.
I don't know if I gel with all that.
No. Interestingly, that suicide bit of Antonio when she kills herself in the UK version of the film, it's like cut down by a few seconds because the BBFC were going to give it an 18. So like you have to shave a few seconds off this scene
Oh wow,
to get a 15.
Oof. I mean,
it's weird how they do things.
Yeah.
it kind of is what it is. I
She's
suppose.
definitely cut her wrists there. She's definitely killed herself.
Probably
There's
why
like
then.
blood just gushing from her. Like, it's just gushing.
That's
Like,
such
just
a.
a couple of seconds off that, and it's no
Mm.
longer an 18.
Yeah.
That's how it
Surely you've
works.
shown it all.
You don't see
You've
it. You
shown
don't
the
notice
worst.
it.
They still add the fact that like she's dead, and then like John Wick shoots her in the head.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. I love this guy Cassian, who's like just a dude who like John Wick knows from like back in the day, and like he doesn't want to be there either. John Wick, he doesn't want to be there and do all this, but he's got to.
I like
He's got
the
to
fact that
fulfill
he's
the prophecy.
He's played by someone called Common Sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a rapper.
I love it. I just love it. No, he's cool. Actually,
he's great.
appreciate
Yeah, I
it.
really liked him, and I love the scene where like they're like fighting, and then like they crash through this window, and it turns out they're on continental ground now, and then they have to stop fighting, and then they just have to like be mates. Like,
Oh, and then they go
was
get
so
that
much
drink at the
fun.
bar.
Yeah, that was great. It really shows like the power of this underworld. You know, it shows
Yeah.
the influence. I really enjoyed all that, and the fact that like John Wick does best him in the end, like on the train, but like he lets him live, but like a knife is basically just stuck into his heart.
Oh,
And
yeah, he
like
says if you
at the
pull it out,
at the
you
bar,
die.
he said, at the bar, like Cassian pays for John Wick's drinks, and he says, "Consider this a professional courtesy." And then, like when he stabs Cassian in the heart, he says, "The blade is in your aorta. Pull it out, and you will bleed and die. Consider this a professional courtesy." I was like, that was so fucking badass.
Such a cool bit. I love the music again in this film. It's not massively different than the first film. But there's this really great scene in a museum where they play like this epic remix of Vivaldi. It's like really fits the scene. I think it's so cool.
It's really good. Yeah, I love all that. Yeah, even when he like gets onto the stage and like shoots that guy, everyone's like, "Yeah, that was awesome." I don't know, like, so they pick and choose when like an audience will be like, "That's fucked up, man," or like when they'll just cheer. I don't know. But yeah, I do like the music, and I think it fits really well.
Yeah, it does.
And there's no Marilyn Manson in this one, so it's immediately better.
Agreed.
I do like this idea of John Wick's character kind of having nothing anymore. So like all he has is vengeance. D'Antoni is like, all you have is vengeance is all you have. You kill me, but then like what's going to happen? Because you have no wife and you have no house and you have nothing. So what's he going to do when all this is over? I kind of like that idea of him being quite integrally lonely. It's like when all this is over, what's he going to have? I kind of hope they play with that in future movies with him. So
yeah, I imagine they probably will in the next one.
Yeah, it always amps up. So like he's never at like a low point where he just kind of sits there and goes, "What the fuck is what's going on?"
Hello.
I have an interesting bit of trivia that we can wrap this film off with.
Sure.
That rooftop garden scene where Winston is telling John at the end that he's excommunicado. It's actually the same location that they used in Spider-Man, the 2002 film where Spider-Man saves Mary Jane.
Oh, really? Isn't that the end of the third movie?
What was that?
Isn't that the end of the movie?
The end of this movie is when they're at the park. They're at the park at the end of this movie.
I know, but there's a bit before that earlier on where they're in a rooftop garden.
That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah, that
like
bit.
That.
They use that bit where Spider-Man drops her after
awesome.
saving her from the Green Goblin and runs away.
Nice. It all comes back around to Willem Dafoe in the end.
That it does.
He is the only one.
Speaking of the ending,
one out of Willem Dafoe's.
Sorry. Speaking of the ending, I fucking love the ending. It's like, oh fuck, like all this happens, and like he goes to the Continental, and like there's not a better way they could have done this. Where like D'Antoni is just there, a smug little grin on his face. He's like, I could stay here forever, and you couldn't kill me, ha ha. And then John Wick just fucking shoots him in the face. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's so crazy. And then like he just has to run away. It's fucking great. It's such a good ending.
Yeah, it's really
sorry.
fantastic.
What were you? Well, we rating this one out.
Willem Dafoe's.
Yeah, I'll give a pour one out for our man Willem.
Yeah, he's still alive. We're just pouring one out for him because he's happy.
Yeah.
You're both insane.
Yeah, I love this movie. I think it's really great. It's really, really fun. Action sequences are incredible. Although I don't like it as much as the first film because I just don't really care about the story. I still think it's an absolute blast. Give it 8 Willem Dafoe's out of 10.
Yeah. This movie's awesome. This movie's like fantastic. Some of the greatest action sequences that you'll find in at least Western cinema, I think. Doing a really good job with it. Hope they keep it up. 8 Willem Dafoe's out of 10.
I want to know why Chris is going through my things. What are you doing? Oh, he's getting up the third film for me.
I knew you'd forget and get confused as to what I'm looking at.
I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. Because it took me so long to watch and I was not as invested, I'm going to give it a 6. What are we rating it out? Willem Dafoe's,
yeah.
6 Dafoe's.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh no, I probably am. Might watch it again. Anyway, so we're on to the final movie so far. Anyway, Chapter 4 coming up soon, boys.
Yeah, next year.
So we got
Nice.
John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. 2019. This one came out. So at the end of the last film, we found out that he's excommunicado, so all the assassins are after him for his $14 million bounty, but then it gets raised up to 15. And basically it's just everyone trying to fucking kill him, basically, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
There's 7 mil at the beginning.
Yeah, 7, then it goes to 14, then it's 15. He's a very profitable man. There is one thing, we looked up Parabellum before this film actually properly started, and supposedly it's supposed to do with, like, cartridges in, like, guns or something. But there's a scene where some geezer in the film,
Ian
can't remember
McShane.
which one, Winston,
Winston.
he's talking about, if you want peace, you have to prepare for war, but he literally says something Parabellum. So does it mean war, or does it mean cartridging guns? Up to you guys. Anyway, what do we think?
It's definitely shoehorned in there. We'll call this one John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. We'll have Ian McShane say Parabellum one time. Okay. Like, I don't know. This movie's great. I love it.
It was alright.
I watched this in a cinema, and I gotta say, it's like one of my favorite cinema experiences because everybody was really into it. A lot of high tension action, still really great on the big screen. That's where you want to see the big action stuff with Keanu Reeves, I think.
Do you think this will be the same case when we're watching Chapter 4?
Probably.
I think it'll be great. Yeah. Honestly, 'cause if it's still Keanu Reeves and it's still Chad Stahelski, fuck it. You know, I'm in for it. I love these guys. I think this one is definitely not overly plot driven. Definitely takes more liberties in terms of like disregarding a plot in favor of bombastic action scenes. I'm not really complaining though, because I still really enjoyed it. And you know, I thought this was like my favorite one beforehand, and now I kind of think it's the weaker one of the three.
Yeah.
Though I will say, not really by much for what I'm looking for from these movies. I still really had a blast with it. Although I think probably they could have cut it down a bit. They probably could have trimmed it down a bit. It's like 2 hours and 10.
It probably didn't need to be that long, but I think a lot of it, because of, I think most of the runtime was just them trying to think of the most like batshit ways to make a fight scene.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
it's
mean?
like we got to get John Wick to go to like this next location. So it's like, it kind of plays out like a James Bond movie where he's like goes to a location, gets some information from a guy, and then he goes to the next location, gets some information from a guy, and he goes to the next one. And like that's how it kind of goes for the most part.
That's the stuff I really don't care for in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they kind of stop the movie to kind of try and develop the story or try and do something, that's kind of when the film loses me. When there's like action sequences, I'm fully into it because the action sequences in this are easily the best in the trilogy and some of the best action in any film. It's like so cool, so well done. It's similar to the second one, and some of it is very silly, but it's just so much fun, so like, well done. But anytime there's not action, I don't really care.
Yeah, he fucking kills that guy with a book.
Yeah.
God damn, what the fuck? That's how we're opening this. Like his contract isn't even open yet, and he's like, "Oh, who's gonna know?" So he fucking kills him with a book. He's like this giant.
Right. I had to think about that, and I was like, "What do you mean kills him with a book?" And then I just thought, "Yep, that's
Yeah, he
something
like
that
goes
he did."
to like this place. He's like, "I've got to go to this place. Well, I've got a few more trinkets. I've got to go to the library because that's where there's a book with a hollowed out inside where I put a photo of me and my wife and some more coins. It's got a few coins riddled about the place, so I'll get it." And then he kills the guy with a book.
There's a bit like very early on where there's this like great horse sequence where it ends up with him horse riding, being chased by guys on motorcycles. But it like starts off where they're like in stables and there's all these bad guys coming after him, and he keeps like slapping horses and making them kick people in the head. And it's so great.
What a hero!
It was brutal, man. Yeah, oh
Like,
god, I'm like,
You hear
this is
the crunch of their
disgusting.
neck snapping when he does it.
That's disgusting. But
a lot of
I'm
stuff
here
in this
for
movie, I
it,
was
though,
like,
you know?
this is gross.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is gross, man. He
feel
like
like
goes to
this,
that guy who's like, "Oh, sign me up, doc." He's like, "I've got 5 minutes left. Just sign me up." And then like he's signing him up, but then it hits like the allotted time where he's now excommunicado, so he can't help him anymore. So he's like, "You just got to do it yourself." So he has to sew himself up. It's so crazy. And then the guy's like, "Now you got to shoot me, John Wick. You got to shoot me twice in the in the abdomen." It's like, one's not going to be enough. They're not going to believe you. They're not going to believe me when they
I've got
come.
this-
Yeah.
So
And
you
he's
got to
like,
shoot
but-
me again.
Yeah, but shoot me in this specific place, and he just shoots him in this like place.
Yeah, it's that place where he knows he'll survive.
Yeah,
and
like
get
it's just
shot
jokes.
Mm.
No,
That's
but it
great.
was similar to what I was saying earlier about like all the disgusting stuff. Like, yeah, literally, this guy getting his fucking like eyes like stabbed.
Oh
in.
yeah, that's
Fucking
one of the
grim.
best sequences, I think, where like he's just in this place with a bunch of knives and he's just like progressively throwing knives into people.
Grim.
It's like, but he knows they're coming, so like he has to, and he has no weapons really, but he needs like one bullet to like kill the first guy so he can take his gun. And like they just like there's tension, there's palpable tension. He like smashes this cabinet and he assembles a gun out of replica guns that don't work anymore. So he like assembles this working gun out of parts that shouldn't work, and he puts one bullet in, kills the guy, steals his gun, and he just kills everyone else. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so fucking insane.
I feel like
He
this
like
film's-
throws an axe into a man's head from like across the room. He like picks up an axe and just like throws it into his skull. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like this is the most brutal and like violent, like in terms of blood and gore, out of the trilogy.
Mhm. Yeah, God, you see like what Darcy said about the eye. Well, like, it's like really slowly just stabbing that knife into that
Yeah,
guy's
it's really
eye.
graphic.
And they
You can
do
see
not
all
cut
of it.
away from it. You see it all. Oh, it's so cool. It's so good. Oh, it's sickening. You're like, oh, I
Yeah.
shouldn't be watching this. Halle Berry comes in as well. She's like,
Yeah.
now we'll meet Halle Berry, who John Wick knows. Like, we go to Morocco, we go to Casablanca, and she's just there. She's really good in it. She's really great. I know she did the stunt work as well, along with Keanu. So she's really, really on form with her
Yeah,
dogs.
she had loads of like training for like dog training.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she spent
Those
like
dogs are,
6
like, great
months
as well.
learning how to train dogs.
It's crazy. Yeah, you got
Nice.
like is it the guy from Game of Thrones who like comes in? He's like doing a
Jerome Flynn.
terrible Jerome Flynn who comes in with a terrible accent. Why did you just like hire actors from these countries? Just do it, man. Like I don't.
Because it
I don't
won't
get it.
pull
I'm
in the
always
people,
annoyed.
Max. It won't pull in the people.
It's probably cheaper, to be fair, because you don't have to pay to like import these actors.
It's actually,
He's a big name
it's actually
actor.
embarrassing.
He was
I know.
in Game of Thrones.
He's in Robson and
Robson and Jerome.
He's in the Robson and Jerome show. God damn it.
It was a band, like a duo from
Yeah, they were like
the
a
early
really-
2000s.
Yeah, really cheesy. Did like covers and stuff.
Yeah, their big hit was a cover of Unchained Melody.
That
I love
sequence
that.
where they're like, it all like hinges on like he shoots the dog. He's like, he shot my dog, so I have to kill him. And Keanu's like, yeah, I get it. And then like they go on this like huge rampage where they kill all these Moroccans in the Moroccan base. They're killing so many people. It's like almost like overload. And the
Yeah.
dogs are great. They're just like jumping around. The camera's going crazy. It looks amazing. All this like kind of like steam coming off the people because it's so hot and all like this like orange and green type of tinge to it. It looks like really like sweaty and hot, and they constantly like having to reload their weapons because like there are so many people that they have to kill. And I think like the best parts are like just when they have to stop a bit and like because it's time is against them when they're reloading their weapons, but they have to do it. Sometimes they'll like steal other people's clips and like you're just like, oh fuck, who's gonna reload first? It's like a western almost. It's
Yeah,
really great.
Really cool. I love the bit where the dog jumps off Halle Berry's back and jumps up this like huge balcony to get this guy. It's so cool.
It's sick. It's
Oh,
Darcy
and it,
missed
like-
it, and I had to rewind back
And it
to
like
show her.
launches just like straight onto the top of this like roof, and it doesn't move.
Oh, it's so good. I love those dogs. I like that they're like definitely committed to not killing any more dogs in these movies.
Yeah.
Good.
Like, there was one dog they had to kill, and that was it. I think in this one, I was kind of annoyed that they kept saying like, "All this over a dog, John." I'm like, no, no.
I
It's
think
not.
you're
No, it's not.
misunderstanding the point here.
Didn't you see John? Didn't these guys see John Wick Chapter 2? That wasn't over a dog.
I guess not.
I guess these guys didn't see John Wick Chapter 2.
Yeah.
I love the end sequence as well, where like it's kind of amped up because they've got to fight these guys in the Continental, and the way they use the sets within the Continental, just like bright neon lights and like different rooms that they can go to and have these fights in. They all look really great. They're like, dude, tell them how it is. Set the mood. So homeboy just like slaps a light, and then it all goes green. And they got to fight all these guys in like armored suits, and they got to like shoot them in the head like 5 times before they die. Oh, it's so cool.
Apparently, Chad Stahelski intentionally crafted a lot of the set pieces around skills that Keanu Reeves already has, like including obviously horseback riding, which apparently he can already do.
Of course he can. Fucking hell. That was great. I like that the bad guys were like definitely not going to shoot the horse.
Yeah, of course.
If they wanted it over and done with, like immediately, they could have just killed the horse and like he would have like fallen on his face, and it would have been done. But nah, these guys are animal lovers. They understand. Not Jerome Flynn though.
Yeah.
He's like doing his terrible accent. He's like, if I cannot have the dog, then I will kill it. And then he fucking shoots the dog. I laughed a lot in this movie because like a lot of it is quite silly, and like a lot of the set pieces is like, oh, okay. I kind of take issue with the fact that like Keanu Reeves doesn't say a whole lot, and when he does, it's like shit. He says the word "yeah" a lot. Like a lot of just like, yeah. Like there's like supposed to be like a really great end scene where like he's fallen off of the fucking roof. He's been shot a bunch of times by Ian McShane, who's like supposedly betrayed him. And he falls off the roof and he survives. And then Lawrence Fishburne comes along because he's alive still. And he says, "I'm pissed off, John. Are you pissed off?" And
Oh, yeah,
it's supposed to be
that
like this
bit was
really great triumphant moment. And Keanu Reeves just goes, "Yeah." And then it
And it
ends.
just
Oh, it's awesome.
That's the only way you could end this film, though. to be honest.
I actually really like that ending. I just thought, yes, okay, it's fine. I do like this guy, Zero, who they get in, who's kind of been hired by this adjudicator woman. It's like, you got to kill John Wick, so he gets his team. But what they don't know is like they're like really big fans of John Wick, so like fighting John Wick is like such a massive pleasure for them. It's like they're like congratulating themselves, or like they're being like, "Oh, John, we love you so much, man. I'm like your biggest fan." And then like at the end, there's some sick fucking choreography here where like they're fighting in like the mirror kind of glass room. I think one of the guys were like, or a couple of them from the Raid, actually.
Yeah, they are.
So like, yeah, you know these guys mean business. So all the choreography is just fantastic, and like they see that John's like really tired, so it's like, we'll wait for you, man. Just get it. We just want this fight to be like really great, and then they're just like kind of helping him up, like giving him a hand up, just so they can have like this really great fight. And there's a great part at the end of this fight with Zero, where he like basically stabs him through the sternum with this huge sword, and he's like, "Oh, hey John, that was a pretty good fight, huh?" And he just collapses. And of course, Keanu's like, yeah. And he leaves.
I don't really have anything else to add. Don't know about you guys.
Sorry, no, I do not.
Sure. I thought for sure he was dead, though. Like, when he fell off the roof. And I'm like, They showed him falling off that roof. Like, he hit a lot of things on the way down. He was definitely dead.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This guy's Superman. Apparently, he cuts his own finger off, and he's fine. Like, it's branded. He gets beaten up so much in this movie. It's a wonder he survives.
It's like torture porn, isn't it?
He gets to a point where I'm like, he is still human, though, right?
Apparently not.
And he's like, he's kind of old. Yeah. He's a bit like, he literally goes to like that place where who trained him, and they brand him with the cross.
Yeah.
He takes it on the word of that guy who shot the dog, that if he goes to the desert and just walks for a bit, a guy will pick him up, and he'd be like, you'll find your answers with this guy who's in the desert, but maybe you won't. I don't know. But he does. He's like, you gotta kill your best mate, Winston. Go do that, and you'll be all right. It was at that point where it was like, this is kind of silly now. Yeah. Where he's in the desert, and I'm like, okay. Why does he need to do all this?
I think this one's the silliest out of the trilogy.
Yeah, this one's the one where they went, we'll just chuck all this shit in and make it work.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not mad about it, though. They did it.
They sure did it.
Yeah. One last thing before we end it. I like when the adjudicator says to Zero, I will be sending some of our finest support, some of our finest in for support for you to kill John Wick. And he just goes, cool. Very cool. He's just so happy to be there. It's if there was ever a character in here who's just so fucking happy to be in these movies, or to be within this world, the actual character is, it's that guy. He loves it. Yeah, great movie. We'll rate it. What are we rating it on top of?
I don't know. Dogs.
Dogs?
There's dogs in it.
That's fucking...
I mean, yeah, there are, I guess.
We'll rate it out of axe throws.
Okay.
Axe throws, okay. Yeah, this is my least favourite in the trilogy. Still think it's a very good movie. Action sequences are incredible. Everything else, not so much. But it's not bad. I give it 7 axe throws out of 10, I think. Excited for the next one, though.
I love this movie, man. I think it's so good. I am really excited for the next one. I can't wait. I give it 8 axe throws out of 10. They're all 8s for me, I think. It's just a really solid group of movies.
I would say this one, yeah, because this one's the kookiest. I mean, it's not my favourite. I think the first one's my favourite, but it's sure a good way to keep entertained for a couple of hours. It doesn't really feel its length, if that makes sense. I mean, maybe I should watch the second one again when I'm less distracted by everything that's going on, because maybe it's tarnished my view. However, because of that, this is the second favourite in the saga. So 7. Did you say axe throws? Was that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you remember when they're in the room where they've thrown a bunch of knives into each other, and they're all dead except for this one guy who's I'm sort of alive, I don't know. And then John Wick picks up, he's out of focus, and he picks up this huge axe and he fucking tosses it across the room, and it goes straight into the guy's skull.
Nice. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can actually see it in my head right now. It was quite impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, next week, boys, next week, is the free-for-all, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I was waiting for one of you to get on it.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we've got a free-for-all. We usually do them at the beginning of each month, but we're a bit delayed this week due to COVID. So we're just going to pick 3 movies each, just see what they are. I'll be honest, I still haven't picked mine, but I'll wing it and see how it goes.
Do it on the day.
Yeah.
Oh, come on!
He doesn't know. He still doesn't know.
He's been doing this all day.
Okay. I'm just going to go with the film I originally was going to go with. I thought about changing it then, but I realised the film I was going to change it to Darcy's seen. I want to shake it up and show her something she's not seen. It's a film I've not actually seen in quite a while, so I'll be interested to see how it holds up on another watch. It's a 1998 film directed by the Coen brothers, The Big Lebowski.
Can I quickly ask what the film you were going to recommend was?
I was thinking of doing Fargo, but you've seen it, so...
Oh, okay, fair enough. Good film,
Yeah,
though.
I've seen it.
Fargo.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I saw that one recently, actually. The Fargo. Such a good movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Such a good one. I'm just looking through my list here. I don't know.
Do you want Darcy
Yeah, would
to
you
go
like me to
first?
take some of the pressure off
go
of
ahead.
you,
Go
mate?
ahead.
I'm gonna pick a TikTok movie favourite, There Will Be Blood.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to pick
Is that why
Fancy
you
Fresh,
didn't-
so she picked a different Paul Thomas Anderson.
No,
film.
that is not why. That is not why.
That is why.
Because the other film was fucking boring, that's why.
You didn't even finish it.
Yeah, because it was boring. And I'm only picking this one because everyone apparently says it's the best movie ever made, so...
Well, I'll agree on that one. Just to spoil my opinions of that movie, it's awesome. You know what? Just looking at like all my collection, I think I was going to go for like an April Fool's prank joke. I was going to go with because we're recording this on April Fool's. I was going to go with the 4-hour Chinese movie, An Elephant Sitting Still, but I don't think I have the capacity for that this week. Maybe another time.
4 hour... Why would you hate me?
I've seen it before as well. I was like, I don't know.
I don't think I'm going to survive another 4 minutes, let alone 4 hours.
It is true. We are struggling out here. Me and Chris especially. Well, I think me especially. I had to stop halfway through this podcast today to die.
Okay, you know what I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with a movie that I don't think we've seen before, but it's from Rob Reiner, I think. And it's called A Few Good Men.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've not watched it.
Okay, cool.
Don't really know anything about it. So.
No, neither do I.
No, me neither. So yeah,
Okay.
Big Lebowski, A Few Good Men, and There Will Be Blood. That's like a holy trifecta, to be honest. This one,
Yeah.
the big hitters. So we'll be doing that
I
one.
don't think any of these films are going to pass the Bechdel test.
The what?
Doesn't matter.
Is that the non-misogynistic test? or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the, yeah.
Can't wait.
Thank you for listening. Those ones we'll do. So the next one, and we just did the John Book ones. What a week it was. We conquered COVID. Well, I did. Next week, Chris and Darcy will conquer COVID. You'll see.
Hopefully.
So the next time we'll be dead. That's what's happening now.
It'll just be Max solo podcast.
Those
Live
movies-
free, Max. Live free.
I'm going to talk about all these movies on my own. I have 2 notes. We have social medias. YouTube is at Sunday Movie Marathon. Twitter is at Sunday Movie Pod. Facebook is at Sunday Movie Marathon. And Letterboxd is at Sunday MM, capital S, capital MM. I've definitely got all that. Thank you. See you on the next go round.
Goodbye.